Hey there, this is Carrie Clark with Speech and Language Kids, and today I'm going to tell you a few signs that a child might be a Gestalt language processor. So, we know that there are two ways that children tend to acquire language. One is one word at a time, and that is what we call analytic language processing. And the other way is to learn language in chunks. So, these are full phrases, full sentences, or even full scripts from a movie or a TV show that they are using to communicate with us as one whole unit. And we call this Gestalt language processing. So these are some signs that a child may be learning language that way. And this is helpful to know because we can support them differently than if they were learning language one word at a time. So, first of all, if they're speaking in those chunks, if they're speaking in those full phrases, if they're quoting movies or entire scenes from a TV show, or the things that they say are clearly things that they heard someone else say and they're repeating them later. Now, these are still communication. These are the way that they are communicating with us. It might not be that they're trying to communicate those literal words, but there's a feeling behind that script or that delayed echolalia, if you want to call it that, that has a meaning for that child and that they are trying to convey to us. Another way that you can tell is if they are speaking very melodically. So, our Gestalt language processors tend to hear the intonation and the flow of words as opposed to just listening to the specific meaning of the words. So, sometimes, especially for our early Gestalt language processors, we may not actually be able to understand the words they're saying because the sounds are kind of jumbled, but we can tell by the intonation or the pitch. So, you can hear and you know that oh, that's from that TV show that sounds kind of like that, even if they didn't get all of the sounds in there. Another one is if they say things the same way every time. So, for example, if they want something, they may say, "Do you want it? Do you want it?" And it sounds exactly the same every time because that's what they heard when they wanted something and someone else said that to them. So, repeating things back the same way. Singing, even if they can't speak yet. So some Gestalt language processors are able to sing before they're able to speak. And then we also tend to see that our Gestalt language processors love categories of language. So they love farm animals, or they love vehicle words, or they love numbers, or shapes, or colors, or letters. And so we'll see these types of language being used more because that love of categories and how that makes sense for their brain. So, these are some signs that a child might be a Gestalt language processor. If you'd like to learn more about how we can support these language learners, then you can go to speechandlanguagekids.com/Gestalt.